Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Throwaway is my name. My 26 male girlfriend, 23 female, is terrible with money. Is this a deal breaker if I am thinking about marriage? I have a girlfriend, wonderful girl. We have a lot of fun and I love her to death. We have been together for about 2 years and we actually met by being roommates. So we've always lived with each other. We have the same friend circle. Everything is peachy, except with finances. I am very financially sound. I make a decent income and manage all my money well. If I owe something, I pay it down almost immediately. I have some healthy debt like student loans and a car loan, but my credit score is around 750 with no missed payments. I save money every paycheck, at least $300. It is a huge deal for me and it has served me well over the years. She cannot manage any money at all. She has no idea where her money goes or how to budget. She has 2 credit cards maxed out and barely pays them off. She got a loan from her grandparents to buy a car, which needs extensive repairs, and stopped paying them for it. She has a credit score of around 500. She makes impulsive decisions without thinking about them thoroughly, and it causes a lot of issues for her. She also has never saved any money in the 2 years we have dated. I have tried helping her over the course of a year. I sat down with her when she asked for help with budgeting and taught her some things. I did this calmly 3 times because I was genuinely trying to help. I let her do it on her own and checked up in a couple of months. She said she got her debt down to $600. I was so happy until I found a collection notice in our room. It turns out she lied about how much she owed by telling me her balance on one card. She actually was around $2,000 in debt, one account in collections. This was one of about 5 lies she told me in regards to finance. Also, she not only lied to me, but she lied to her parents as well. Her mom and I discussing it in passing when we were on vacation with them, and it blew up into a huge argument of us talking to her sternly. She has a decent paying job as well for her needs. She just doesn't manage the money well. I have paid for her food and rent a few times because she hasn't been able to manage where the money actually goes. If someone makes less than me, that is fine. I would never break up with someone for that. But what really bothers me is her inability to maintain her own finances at all. She is completely irresponsible with them. I really want to marry this girl, but the more I think about the future, the more I see this being a huge issue. I can't imagine getting a house with this girl or getting a car with her because I don't know what would happen if I were to co-sign with her. I also see financial habits as a way to see someone's character, impulsivity, sense of paying back a debt, maturity, etc. This coupled with the age gap, I see her as being on a completely different page than me in terms of maturity. I love her, but I see her lies and inability to plan financially as a huge issue. We have had other issues as well, like every couple, some worse than this, but this is the problem that stays with us. Our most recent fight was about her buying shoes instead of food. What do you think, Reddit? Do you think her spending habits are enough for me to call it quits? I want a future with her, but I can't see one happening. Also, I tried to help and nothing ended up sticking. Thanks, guys. Well, OP, I would say that financial maturity or spending habits would be a reason to be concerned, but honestly, I would break up because of the lying. I mean, it was a complete act. She told you she wanted help, to learn to budget, to be responsible, blah blah blah, all the while lying to you and hiding a bigger debt. That's not something you can trust, man. That's the big issue here. And in my opinion, trust is incredibly important, especially when you're thinking about spending the rest of your life with somebody. OP, I honestly think that you have your answer already. You want a future with her, sure, because you love her, but you don't see it happening because, well, she lies to you and she hides things from you and you can't trust her. That's why you don't see it happening. So on this one, OP, I'd say listen to your gut. And what do you guys think about this situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. User Non2 says, "This is something I thought about a lot over the past few years. Her age doesn't matter. I'm the same age as her and I'm financially responsible. My credit score is 754. No missed payments, no debt, save money from each check, etc. I know people who are older who are very financially irresponsible. It's a hard habit to break. I think it's something that is deeply ingrained in people. Either you have it or you don't. Personally, I couldn't have a happy, tension-free marriage in the long term with someone like that, so it would be a deal breaker for me. It definitely sucks to break up with someone who you otherwise have a great relationship with, but her debt will become your debt. You've tried to help her and she isn't putting in any effort. It couldn't hurt to discuss your concerns about marriage with her again, though. You could also keep your finances separate so her credit doesn't hurt yours. However, if she's lying about her finances, among other things, now, you probably can't trust her to not do it again." And OP responds, "This is very true right here. A lot of people have mentioned that if she has financial issues, she probably has other issues in life as well, which she does. I feel like it is a deeper rooted problem, and that is what worries me. Thank you for your insight." Deleted says, quote, "Is this a deal breaker if I am thinking about marriage?" End quote. Step back from the "my girlfriend is awesome" feelings for a second and ask yourself if you want to be attached to the hip to a financial black hole. You may manage your money well, but that doesn't matter if your partner drags you down with her. That isn't to say you shouldn't marry this particular girl, but this is something you should work on before you get married. Changing your spending habits requires changing your view about money and priorities, so while everyone can change, not everyone wants to. AFOS says, "I'd frame it this way. How does she plan on paying for her future? Buying a house, holidays, a better car, kids if you want them, wedding, retirement, etc. Ask her what her long-term plans are and how she hopes to achieve them. Not in an aggressive or condescending way, but seriously, because if you want to stay together, her answer to those questions directly affects you. If her plan is to just wing it, put it all on credit, or just rely on you or family, you'll need to do some serious thinking if this is something you're willing to put up with. Personally, it'd be too much for me. A 23-year-old should have some idea of how to manage money, but everyone is different. It's easy to keep finances separate now, but if you get married and or have a child, things will change very quickly." Additional information from OP's comments. We do have separate finances. The finances clash when she doesn't have enough money to pay for something and I cover it. Don't get me wrong, I have had her cover my ass before on a bill or two due to a massive car repair, but it is always repaid on the next paycheck. I have bailed her out numerous times and it's because of takeout dinner and clothes instead of real things. She gets upset that I get upset about her finances, so controlling them is out of the question, nor would I want to. I feel like it has become a stalemate and there is nothing I can do to help because she doesn't want to help herself. We have had many fights about it. I even said breaking up incoming once and it didn't change anything. After each fight, she goes and starts planning a future, looking into new jobs that will better her, checking into new cars, making a budget, etc. for one day. Then she goes back to disregarding life and doing everything on the fly while complaining about it at the same time. It is infuriating. I may be a bit anal about finances, but when you're planning on being with someone for the rest of your life and you tell them their spending habits are causing problems in the relationship, you would shape up if you value the relationship or defend your case. She did neither of those things after about 10 fights, so it's pretty much a lost cause. Also, she lies frequently about some large things. She cheated once in the beginning before we were serious, and small things, white lies. She lies often and it's not always malicious, to avoid intervention and people looking down on her, but it usually ends badly when people find out. Alright, well, the community gave OP some pretty decent advice, thinking about the relationship and how things should work and what is compatible and what not. I still think the lying is the biggest issue here. The financial irresponsibility is an issue, but lying is a way bigger one, and this last paragraph from the additional information kinda solidifies my point. Anyways, of course we have an update, so let's move on with that to see how this story ends. After reading about the first 3 comments, I realized my suspicions were very true. People were validating the worries that I had and even showing me more light into the situation. Lying and impulsive decisions actually show a deeper personality problem and self-esteem issues. Pretty much, I realized I have been blinded by love and have not made any moves in the past because of how comfortable I have been. Living in a cheap house for 2 years, having sex often enough, someone to hang out with, etc. What I realized is that I was keeping it going because of that, and I wasn't facing the glaring issues that were rearing their head. So, the next day we woke up and I just blurted out, "We need to talk." Needless to say, she was in shambles and so was I. I was breaking up with the woman I love for adult reasons, and it really sucked. But I'm not a kid anymore. However, I quickly realized that she is, like everyone pointed out. She sobbed, was denying everything I was saying, blamed me for all her unhappiness, and said I gave up on her. She stormed out and left me there all by myself. She returned a few hours later after talking to her friend, and when we talked, it was civil and calm. She understood all the reasons I was breaking up with her, and we came to the conclusion we were pretty much just friends or roommates in the end anyway. It was a very nice breakup at the end. We said we were our first loves, hugged and cried for a bit, and left on excellent terms. However, not 2 days after I broke up with her, she latched onto the next available guy she found. It is a dude I know, a co-worker of hers and a good friend of her girlfriend, who is going through a breakup as well. A double rebound. I've always thought he was very childish and he is kinda goofy looking. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm serious. I think they're dating already. I have no idea. She either moved in with him or her friend. I am not sure if this is to try and make me jealous or as a breakup coping mechanism. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I think it's pretty damn immature. She is still texting me saying how much she misses me at the same time though. I can't stand that crap. I am denying all her advances because I know I dodged a bullet and I want to keep it that way. Oh, and her terrible car I told you guys about, the one her grandparents loaned her money for? Yeah, apparently it died already because it's cold as F out. So now she has no car. I have always thought breakups show you who people really are because they are acting under emotion and not out of logic. She is making a lot of bad decisions right now and it's proving to me that I made the right decision. This breakup is not easy on me emotionally, but at least I know I made a mature decision for myself that will make me much happier in the long run. I still love her and care about her, but I'm glad it's over. Extended update from OP's comments. Of course I'm sad, I just broke up with my girlfriend of 2 years. Tears will ensue regardless of the reason why. Moving on is hard and I'm trying, but I am upset about her rebounding 2 days later. I know I shouldn't care, but after a breakup, you don't just cut all emotional ties to a person instantly. I do have a lot to work on. My resentment comes from her cheating in the past. She cheated on me once and her ex twice. She rebounds every breakup. Now, I am definitely still immature, I am still learning about and fixing myself, as is everyone, but I learned how to do everything finance related on my own, and I'm still learning. After working for a credit card company, I saw how bad finances can be. She had no desire to actually learn and thought that sweeping it under the rug would take care of the problem every time. The financial help went on for about a year. Patience and due diligence was definitely there, but every time I tried to help, she would end up disregarding the support days later. After about 6 months of trying to help, only to have it thrown out the door, you get tired of it. Try having someone do the same thing over and over again, and every time you try to help them, they do it right once and then go back to the same habits again. You can't help someone who doesn't want to change. I feel that traits like money spending habits and lying are at the core of who a person is. If they cannot be trusted to be honest or pay for things on time, they cannot be trusted in a lot of other factions of life as well. I guess some people are born as responsible go-getters, while others are born as irresponsible takers. That is what I could not look past. I realized if she is lying to me often now, what would stop her from doing it in the future, or worse, cheating on me if things go a little sour? Anyway, thank you for your help, Reddit. You saved my life, smiley face. Thank you for all your kind words and advice. It means the world to me. Alright OP, well as you say, you dodged a bullet, but then it hit somebody else 2 days later. But it's none of your business anymore, you just need to focus on yourself and move on. So thanks for sharing OP and all the best in the future. Take care. Now let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user PMUR Left Nipple. Oh, I didn't get that. You leave too early. I was a system administrator for a big 3-letter telecom company in the one smaller department. There were 2 admins, me and Jay. Jay was awesome, super intelligent, very friendly, and was great at his job. He and I decided that I would come in early and he would stay late, so there was more coverage during the day. It worked great for both of us for a few years. I would get to work around 7:30 a.m. I would review all the system generated reports overnight, check the health of the servers and database, and then generate the daily reports for various managers throughout the company, including my manager and his boss. After 9 hours plus 1 for lunch, I would go home around 4:30 every day. Jay would show up at around 10:30 a.m. and would usually be the last person to leave at around 7. My old boss left, and my new boss, Tim, was a major idiot and a huge a-hole. He knew nothing about IT and should have never been put in charge of people. He was a nepotism hire. After about 6 months of Tim working there, he brought me into his office. He said that he was very concerned about how I would just up and leave each day at 4:30 p.m., so consistent that you could set your watch by it. I tried to explain that I'm there at 6:30 a.m., 3 hours before he showed up and 4 hours before Jay showed up, but Tim was having none of that. I was leaving too early. I asked him what my hours should be. He said it should be more like Jay. He said, Jay is usually here long after everyone else leaves. Once again, I tried to point out that Jay gets in at 10:30 in the morning, 4 hours after me, and leaves by 7, an 8.5-hour day with a lunch hour, where I get in at 6:30 in the morning and leave at 4:30 in the afternoon, a 10-hour day with a lunch hour. Tim just couldn't comprehend that, so I complied. I told him that I would be the last one to leave from now on. Tim was happy, so I came to work at about 10:15 the next morning, which was a Friday. I started my normal routine, and about 10 minutes later, Jay came in. We worked the day, and the last person, with the exception of Jay and me, left at around 6:30 in the afternoon. We both left at 6:45, and I made sure that Jay left the building before me. The following Monday, I once again showed up at 10:15. This time, there were about a dozen emails and a few voicemails from managers and executives all over the company wanting to know why they haven't received their daily reports. These reports were used in various Monday morning meetings all over the globe. I explained to them that my hours have changed and they would be getting their daily reports by 1 p.m. One of those executives was my boss's boss's boss. Before the end of the day, I was in her office with Tim and Tim's boss. I explained to her the same situation that I had explained to Tim before this all started. She immediately told Tim the work I did between 6:30 and 10:30 was mission critical to the entire company, and I was to immediately go back to my old schedule. I then sheepishly pointed out that 6:30 to 4:30 was 9-hour workdays, and Jay's 10:30 to 7 was 7.5-hour workdays. I said I would be happy to go back to a 6:30 start time, but was going to limit my hours to 8-hour days since I didn't get overtime. So starting the next day, Tuesday, and every day after, I showed up at 6:30, did my work, and smiled and waved at Tim when I went home at 3:30 later that afternoon. So consistent, you could set your watch by it. Nicely done, OP. I guess Tim being a boss and not a leader actually worked in your favor. Now you get to leave 1 hour before you used to. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.